Hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh, this is on? Okay, good, good. Hello, everybody. Good day. This is the Wildman Gaming and Rage Quit channel, and this is Wildman coming to you. Today, we are going to play a game called Political Animals. It's a strategy game made by Squeaky Wheel. It came out in 2016 and it's available on Steam. I'm actually very excited about it because I've never known for all this time that there was such a deep strategy game based on elections coming from Squeaky Wheel. It's published by Positech UK, and they also make a lot of good strategy games, and I'm seriously thinking about reviewing those other strategy games as well. They've got Democracy and they've got Big Pharma. We'll talk about them some other time, but today let's try out Political Animals. So what's it about? This is about it's an election game. It's an election strategy game, and you play a candidate with a staff, and you go through campaigning throughout an entire island map, and hopefully you are able to campaign enough on select issues to gain reputation so that more people will vote for you during the election time. At the same time, you can counteract the activities of your opponent, either by trying to block them from certain districts, or even by I haven't tried that. We'll talk about the techniques that I tried later. But you could also magnify, amplify, publicize scandals against the other party, against your opponent, and in doing so, hopefully that turn voters away from the from your opponent. And so let's see how it goes. It looks very interesting. So what I'm doing right now, I gotta admit, I'm trying it out and I'm min-maxing it. I'm trying to find which of these districts available will give some kind of bonus. So you can see here that if you're on the pink island map going into, say, the train or the power plant district, you'll find that there are certain bonuses that come with that. You could have a 25% bonus on your abilities, or you could get on certain actions that you take will get a bonus. The population aspect will tell you how many people are there, and if you max out the reputation there, then you've almost got all of those votes. So part of the min-maxing that I'm doing right now, I guess to make it easier for me, this is the first time I'm playing this game, is I'm selecting the district with the largest population. I'm also looking for a map with the fewest number of districts. I just like to try a relatively quick game. Although if I wanted a really quick game, I could go for a short campaign period. But no, I'd want a game which just has fewer districts. Maybe I'm thinking that'll be more manageable. But the number of turns that we selected is the campaign period that we've selected is relatively longer. Hopefully, because it gives us more opportunities to try out different things. Okay, but a large population will make it easier for us to get ahead, because then that's already a lot of voters voting for you. Okay, so let's see. Which island am I gonna pick up? These islands tend to have either 12 or 13 districts, and I'm thinking, choosing between the two, I'd probably choose an island with say 12 districts, like maybe Summer Island, and then I'll trying to find the largest population in that island. So Spring Island, it looks like a fairly good map, and I'll probably consider that. So we'll probably try that. Okay, so we've picked Spring Island, and the next question is what headquarters do we pick? And we've picked the bank because it would have a bonus, and for some reason I'm now trying to pick my platform, trying to find out what I'm good at, and it seems I cannot increase or decrease my knowledge about issues. In that particular instance was education and health. I'm limited to 2 points. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it's not a tutorial, this is a normal gameplay. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but let's just continue playing the game and select our staff. Selecting our staff, we have different kinds of staff will have different abilities. You could have an activist, a lawyer, or an agent. The activist I think is really good, but notice its pros and cons. It's good with rallying, meaning emphasizing certain issues, but it's very bad. The activist is not good at giving gifts. You can get an agent, and an agent can help fabricate a scandal for an opponent in a district. They're also good at giving gifts, but they're not so good at rallying people. See? They also come with different costs. The preacher, for instance, is good at campaigning, gaining your reputation. Not so good with bribery, but they do cost more. Look at the salary; it's 3,500. The reporter, that could be part of your quote-unquote staff. I'm not sure why a journalist would be on a politician's staff, but maybe he's more like a public relations expert, maybe a former reporter. And the lawyer, you can have a lawyer who's supposed to settle and make scandals go away, something like that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and pick our staff then. So we're going to go with the preacher, the activist, and the courier. I'm not too sure what the courier does. He seems to be able to move to an additional district, but he's also got special abilities like he's good at giving gifts and raising money. So I think he's going to be our money maker. We don't have anybody else who's good at raising money. And for the difficulty settings, we're going to have are we going to have a corrupt, unpredictable, or a pragmatic opponent? I think what we can do is adjust the different settings and see how we can affect the opponent, what we can make the opponent do. So we can change the campaign length, we can make it more difficult. I'm okay with moderate, and then I wonder if we can, let's go for 30 days. So the opponent has deep pockets, poor taste. Now poor taste I think gives him disadvantages when giving gifts. Let's just randomize. Okay, so hey, he's clean. Okay, gotta be clean. So we can just change the number of days. Let's go with 30, and we start to play. Let's change the funds. Make it easier for us. Let's get more funds. Yeah. Woohoo! 150. Okay. I don't know how many funds he's going to have. Now let's play. Yeah, let's play. Okay, so we're going against Reindeer, and we're going to be skipping over some of the turns here, but we'll be discussing some of our strategies. So, okay, so this is the first turn. We're at the bank, and at first I didn't know what all of these mean. Like if your headquarters in the bank district, what does that mean? Okay, but over here, bad journalism. We have a situation here. A tabloid journalist has been spreading rumors about me. Leave him alone or make him disappear. Making him disappear will give me a scandal. So why don't we just leave him alone? But that will mean voters. A lot of voters will. A lot of people. Our reputation will go down. A lot of people might not vote for us. They become undecided. So we're gonna have to work on our reputation within the bank and build up our reputation, even though we have that journalist who tried to spread bad rumors. So this preacher, our staff, Ricardo, is a preacher, and maybe we can campaign to increase the reputation in our district. Okay, and then the activist can also campaign for us. But who's better at campaigning? Well, the dog can campaign better, so we'll just go ahead and throw money at it. The entire 20,000 budget right there. Okay. And maybe, well, let's just go on a campaign spree, and maybe all of us can campaign. I'll campaign too, the character, Mousey. Okay, so I can't raise, I'm not good at raising funds. Although the courier is good at raising funds, so we raised funds. But I think what we should do is, before you raise funds, increase your reputation first. So here what I've done is I've increased my reputation a little bit in the bank district, but and then I raised funds. But I think what you could do is, if you, to maximize the impact, is you'd want to raise your reputation as much as possible before you raise funds, if that's possible. Okay, so now here we are. We're not going to the ski resort. That's way up north, the ski resort, and I'm not sure if it's a place where we would want to exploit. Let's just play on our strengths for a bit. We've lost support, according to the bad journalist that we had a while ago. So let's see what we can do to get back that support. That's a pretty big population. The ski resort also has a big population, but a lot of the voters there are undecided. Let's see, so do we send somebody there? Now notice the patrons there in the different areas. On the left you would have the wealthy patron, in the middle you would have the influential patron, and on the right would be the popular patron. Okay, so the different kinds of patrons would have an impact later, as you'll see, on the actions that we take in a particular district. So if you raise money, the wealthy patron will have a multiplier effect. If you try to perform any actions, the influential patron will affect the number of action points that you have, and then the popular patron would have an effect on swaying the voters to your side. Okay, so you would want to have all of those patrons have a positive or a high relationship rating with you, so that you can so that activities that you do in a particular district will have a larger impact. Okay, so that's what we've done. We've tried to increase our reputation in the banking district using the activist and using the preacher dog, Ricardo. Yeah. And what did we do? We raise funds. Yeah. Okay, so our final act will be, I think we should have raised funds, but the thing is, if you perform an action, that ends your turn. I mean, that individual staff member's turn, whether you're a candidate or you're a staff member. Okay, so we can increase our reputation here. We can inspire, we can increase our logistics points, which is like our action points. Right now we have 6 action points. I don't know if they will carry over. Let's see. Right now we have 6. What are we going to do? You can campaign. Let's move. Okay, we move to the power plant district. And you notice here that the logistic points cost more. But so if you want to give a gift to the patron, you've got a penalty there of +1. Let's increase our relationship with the patron. Ooh-hoo-hoo. So now there's a +0. At least the next time we try to perform an activity in that district, it would not cost so many points. Okay. So the AI now has a turn with what they're doing. We're here at turn 2. So notice with the new day, you'll have to pay out of your funds. You'll have to pay the staff costs. Staff costs lower because you have control of the bank district. That's one of the benefits of the bank district. Later on, you'll get to see what happens if you lose. If you haven't captured the bank district, if you lose that kind of support, that level of support in the banking district, you will lose that bonus, and suddenly it will cost more to give salaries to your staff. It doubles. Well, as long as you have the banking district, I believe it cuts it in half. Okay, and what I did not know before is that by capturing certain districts, that will confer bonuses to your campaign. So you've got, this is pretty deep. In other words, you've got a good consideration of what district you'd want to capture. Capturing meaning garnering substantial support both from the voters and from the patrons of that district. You'd want to do that, and capturing that district, you will get a lot of support, but also bonuses in your campaign. Now here we have the power plant district, and what can we do here? Let's see what we can do with the power plant district. So what we can do is try to rally the people here in the power plant district, and we could choose between a concern for health or religion. Now the problem is our opponent is very high on health issues, so let's level the playing field by selecting religious issues and campaign on that point. That way, you know, let's not play on where he's strong, in other words. Okay, so following that line, let's bring in the activist from the banking district and also use his talent to increase awareness about religious concerns. Yeah, we think that for the people in the power plant district, that's a more important issue. Let's not focus on the health welfare issue, because our opponent's pretty big on that one. Okay, so our turn. We have to pay their salaries. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, there seems to be a potential event in the power plant district. We got an alert from we get alerts from what our opponent actions are doing. We don't get all the information on those reports, but we're getting some understanding that he's making a lot of deals with all of these people. Meanwhile, we got a special event about being invited to go to a special day. Okay, so we attended somebody's baptism, kissed some babies, and maybe gained our reputation in that area. Okay, that's great. That's great. And also, I think we'll develop our relationship with the patron in that area, in the power plant district. So what's our next move now? We can take a look at the other districts adjacent to us. Okay, the police sector, the police district have concerns about education, and we have some knowledge, ability on educational issues. While in the power plant district, well, we're going to keep that on a religion issue for them. So I also noticed that the TV station district, the healthcare issues again are a concern, but again, the Reindeer is pretty good at that, so we don't want to fight the Reindeer in where he's strong. And if he's strong on healthcare issues, we won't fight him there. Well, rather we'll try to balance it out and work on those issues where at least we are better than him, or where we're on even playing field. In the police station district, at least we have increased concerns on the religious issues, and then we're going to help give gifts to an influential patron. Hopefully this will lower the logistics cost of taking action within that district, so that we can do the work faster. So I guess one of the things that we should do whenever we come to a new district is to work on the influential patron first, so that things would be easier to do within that district. It won't cost us money, logistics points, to work there. So meanwhile, let's continue to raise funds where we can. So here in the banking districts, we still got the ability to raise funds. We'll do that. That will help us in performing our other actions in the other districts. We'll be channeling the funds from the banking district in order to perform actions in the other districts. In the meantime, let us also work here in the power plant district, giving gifts to the wealthy patron. Let's give him a big gift. Hopefully, when we try to raise funds in the power plant district, the wealthy patron will give us bonuses and we'll be able to raise more money from that area. Okay, so maybe we can raise funds now. He's the activist, but Tortinia, she's the activist, and thank you very much. Now, this is supposed to mean that there's a scandal that happened in the train district, and I don't know what kind of deal they did. They had a special event, they have a scandal. I still don't know how to find that yet, but first let's pay our staff. The other thing is I don't know how to exploit the scandal in that area. Maybe if we had a reporter on our staff, then we could send that reporter over there into that district in order to unearth that scandal. I didn't know yet that you could replace your staff members and rotate them, maybe, so that on a regular basis you can use different staff, for different needs. But I also did not know if there would be some kind of penalty if you fired a staff member. That I don't know. Okay, so we could. Where are we now? We're here in a power plant with our preacher, and we can raise funds. It's a modest sum. So maybe let's think about the courier first. I think he's in a better position to raise funds. However, the banking district, we've been raising funds for quite a while. So there might not be as much money available there. So we have to look at the other districts and see if we can raise money from those areas. So here what we'll do is we'll get our courier to go to the power plant district. Let's see if we can raise funds from this area. Not as much as we could normally raise in the banking district, but at least there's more money available here, so we can go raise funds here, and that will help us continue with our campaign. As for Tortinia, the activist, we can move her to the police district and see if we can rally and make them more aware of the education issues in their area, because we're pretty good at that. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, maybe just a third of the funds that we have. We've raised the awareness to 60, level 60. So again, for Ricardog, let's see if we can get him to raise funds from the power plant district. Gives us a plus 21%. Okay. And for Mousey, maybe we can again raise funds, this time within the police district. Instead of doing that, let's do the campaign and increase our reputation. Ooh, look at that, 9,000. And 38,000 undecided voters. We've got a lot of work to do here. Okay, so it looks like we got another event that's happening within the police district. We click on it, we find out that there's a patron there who needs money. Now, we don't have 50,000 gold. We won't be able to help him out, but we've got a few friends who can lend him the money. It will take some logistics points, but at least it will increase our relationship with that patron. So now let's give a gift to the popular patron in the power plant district. What we want to do is increase the ability to gain popularity in the power plant district, so that when we campaign later on, that's a lot of undecided voters that we'd like to have on our side. Okay, now let's send our courier over to the police district. What we're going to do is we'll use his special talents for raising money, and from there, because we're reasonably popular there, but although there are still a lot of undecided voters, but let's raise money because we're going to need that. And then let's give a gift to one of the patrons of this fine district, in particular the popular patron, so that we can continue to increase our popularity through our campaigns. You'll notice that whereas before I always maxed out the funds in any project, because we are starting to run low on our funds, I'm becoming more selective. I don't max it out. I just try to estimate how much I need to obtain the level that I would want, and then I'd work it from there. So here I'm also doing a campaign, and I'm going to be working on that platform of education, and I don't think I can max it out with 10,839. We've got bills to pay tomorrow, so let's leave a little something for the future bills that we'll have here, and we'll start with the campaign right here. Okay, so this is troubling news, as on the 5th day of campaign, Reindeer is in the lead. And now there are some suggestions here on district strategy. The temple district where he comes from feels that I'm neglecting them, and staff strategy, my staff is proposing some strategies by which I could use them. So it's a very interesting way to give hints. So let's go on and continue. I don't know if we'll be able to comply with those hints, but we have here a traffic jam, and we can make use of the police to give us to help us out with the traffic, so that we can attend a charitable event. The downside is, of course, we'll have some scandals. On the other hand, if we refuse, the popularity will go down, but at least there won't be any scandals. So what's it gonna be? Well, let's keep our nose clean and appreciate the help. But okay, so maybe a lot of the people in that charitable event will be disappointed that I can't make it. In the meantime, let's try to raise funds where we are. The problem there is that our popularity has just gone down. Ideally, what we should do, as I said earlier, is to increase the popularity at least. If you've got an ability to increase the popularity there before you raise funds, go ahead and do that, because the funds that you raise will be dependent on the amount of popularity that you have in the district. It's also dependent on the relationship that you have with the wealthy patron. But if you can have both of them active at the same time, they can both help you out. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to try to raise funds in this district as well. Okay, this time the patron has a healthier relationship with us, and hopefully we can max that out. And here for Tortinia as an activist, I think we're going to start. Now, there's a dormant scandal in the train district, but I don't know how to activate it. I don't know, should I go there? Should I activate it there if I stay there? I don't know. It doesn't tell me anything. Okay. Now I noticed also something here. I'm entering the train district without any preparation. So I notice here that if I were to just straight up try to campaign within that district, sure, I'll get some results. Maybe I'll get some kind of people going over to my side, but reputation increase will be very low. And what's the reason? Well, for one thing, patron effect gives you a minus 15% penalty because you don't have a good relationship with the patron. And also for the concerns, you haven't maximized the concerns of the people to be aligned with what you're knowledgeable in, what concerns you're knowledgeable in. So what does this? So what happens here is that you're coming into a district trying to increase your popularity, but it won't have much effect because number one, the people are not as aware of the concerns that you are, the platform that you're trying to project to them. That's one. Second is that the undecided voters will not be initially swayed, partly because you don't have a good relationship with the popular patron. So you realize that when you're campaigning, before you even campaign to increase your reputation in a district, there seems to be a lot of preparation that you need to do. You need to increase social awareness of the particular issue that you want to emphasize, the platform that you will be launching from, the platform that you will be giving your addressing your speeches in. And second, you would want to prepare by having a good relationship with the patrons in that district. You want to have lower logistical cost by having a good relationship with the influential patron, and you want to have a higher impact on your reputation by having a good relationship with the popular patron. And later on, when you want to raise funds from that district, of course you would want to have a good relationship with the wealthy patron in that district. So this actually has very good insight on campaigns. I used to think that going on a campaign, you watch politicians on TV, you just think that all you have to do is just go around country and campaign. No, first you have to do a lot of preparing, social awareness for issues, and having a good relationship with the leaders, the local patrons, whether they are officially designated leaders or if they are, shall we call them, de facto leaders, the influencers in that area. You want to have a good relationship with them so that if you have them on your side, they will be endorsing you, they will be speaking on your behalf as well, and that will help get a lot of increase your reputation among the voters and hopefully get you a lot of votes. And so here's an example of what we're doing to prepare before taking action. We're going to give a gift to the the popular patron of the police district, so that that would increase our relationship with the popular patron and therefore increase the bonuses for campaign. And when you compound them with all the bonuses for the campaign, when we do campaign, we want to maximize the number of voters who will be impacted. So here reputation is now 8,043, simply because we've improved our effect with the patron, and also because there's a 25% bonus because of the special ability of the activist. The interesting thing also is that if we can use the special ability of the activist, we can use the special ability called people power, in which we, without using cash, we use logistics in order to increase the reputation. So that's good. And here we raise funds in the power plant district, so that's also good. Okay. Hey, influential. The patrons and police station already support us. If they can get the support of the voters, they can capture it. So let's see, 68, 87, 93. I was wondering what rates you would have to be in order to be influential in a particular place. I thought it would be about 70, but 68. If we could get enough voters there, we could actually capture the police district. That's interesting to know. Okay. Okay, so we've got an event here where indigenous tribes and ancestral farmlands are affected by one of our patrons. Oh my goodness. Now here's a problem. Do we go in the best interest of the popular patron and lose votes, or do we side with the indigenous mice and gain votes but lose the support of the patron? That's an interesting question. Well, here we decided to take the side of the indigenous mice, and because of that, we totally lost the support of the patron. We are going to have to work on our relationship with him again. So here's an interesting insight that I've learned here. You're not really burning bridges. You might have taken a side, and you might have lost the support of the patron, but that doesn't mean that you've burned a bridge. You can still rebuild that relationship. That's an interesting insight that you can recall, that you can keep in mind in playing this game. So that's very interesting. I'll keep that. Okay, because we're going to have to look at that. There's a minus 50% in our look at that, minus 50%. Our effectivity is cut in half when we're trying to attract voters because of that. We're going to have to work on the relationship with that patron, all starting from scratch. He's got zero relationship with that person. Okay. So here we'll find another example of that strategy at work. Even if we get Mousey over to the police district, we want to increase our reputation in that area, and that's a tricky question. I mean, we've only got 9,000 undecided voters. We've got 6,000 voters in favor of Reindeer. But even if we put in a budget of half of our total budget, and we use that to finance the campaign, you'll notice that the patron will have an effect of minus 50%. So maybe the 3,000, what, it'll be half of that only? I don't know. So that's maybe not a good idea. Maybe we're not yet ready to do that kind of campaign. Maybe we gotta first give a gift to the patron and increase that relationship. It's not going to be much. I don't know what kind of graph that they use here. Maybe the lower the relationship, the impact of the gift is not as much. Maybe as you increase your relationship, maybe there's a bell-shaped curve where if you increase your relationship with the patron, a gift will have a greater impact to the relationship with the patron. But who knows? Maybe above a certain point, I can imagine, as human psychology might go, maybe above a certain point, the gift has marginal effect. I haven't tried it yet. I haven't experimented enough yet on this game. We'll see how it works out. But in the meantime, we want to continue working on the police station because we want to increase the voters. We want to be able to capture this district in the same way that we can capture the banking district. Actually, at this point, and this is a first-time playthrough, at this point I'm not yet sure what's the impact of capturing a district. All I knew was that because I was in the banking district and I came from the banking district, all I knew is that I had a bonus of half the salary. But here, I don't know what will be the effect or the bonuses that would garner me if I take the police district. So, but here we tried to raise, we tried some campaign, we tried to use people power, but it's difficult because we do not have the support of the popular patron. So we have here our rabbit and our preacher. Okay, so what can we do within the police district? Maybe we can give a gift. The Rabitita is very good at giving gifts. Maybe if we can ask Rabitita to give a gift to the popular patron in the police district, maybe that would help. Okay, because that's only got a 6 there. Now we only have 6,000. We only have 6,000 there. So we're going to give a gift. Unfortunately, I've selected Mousey here, and it would seem Rabidita would be in a better position to do that. But let's give half of our budget. Not really half, but let's save some also so that we can. I think this is a bad idea. We've given funds, but now we're going to try to raise funds. Okay, that sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, maybe what we could have. It's a mixed blessing. It's a mixed bag. We could have raised funds first and tried to increase the popular patron gift, or we could have tried to. we pretty much did something strategic as well. We tried to increase the popular patrons relationship, so that when Rabitita raises funds, she can raise more funds, limited as they are because of the poor relationship that we have with the patron. Okay, so we'll see how that will work out. It's going to be very difficult trying to increase. It's going to be a long slog trying to increase the relationship, building that relationship with the popular patron. And now our problem is we cannot apparently we cannot pay all of our staff. What are we gonna do? When you can't pay all of your staff, some of them will be disabled. Their abilities will be disabled except for raising funds. They'll be able to raise funds, but they won't be able to do much else. Okay, we have a birthday party going on here, and the question is, can we pay 15,000 and increase our relationship with that patron because of that birthday party, or do we just send one of our staff and increase that relationship with the patron a little bit, but that staff would be disabled, or we can't spare any resources right now and it's going to decrease our relationship. What we've done is we've sent one of our staff, but one of our staff will be disabled. Fortunately, because we haven't paid one of our staff, and if that's the same one who's going to be disabled, then we didn't really lose much already. It would have been worse if they picked a random staff member and one of the other staff members were disabled along with the preacher. Then that would be 2 staff members disabled. That'll be a double whammy for us. Okay, so now we can continue with only 2 staff members and 1 candidate and continue with our work. Let's work on increasing our reputation, notwithstanding the impact of the poor relationship that we have with the patron. It's actually getting better. But moving forward, we get a report that the Reindeer is in the lead with 200,000 votes. This is even more votes that he's leading as of day 10. Earlier he was leading by 100,000 votes, so we're going to have to work harder. Okay, now here we have an event, but the bottom line is I don't know why it would cause a scandal. It's because probably we're going to bypass some administrative red tape, but I think the important thing is to get the voters to receive their relief goods as early as possible. Never mind the red tape, let's go ahead. I'm sure it's going to be another scandal in the works, just because we tried to fast track giving the relief goods. But anyway, at this point of the campaign, I'm thinking, hey, we need the votes, we need the reputation, let's go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, in the power plant, the power plant district, there's still a lot of undecided voters that we can work on. And if we do that hard enough, we might be able to capture that district. So to summarize the general strategy that we will be implementing in this campaign, as I said before, step 1 is to build our relationships with the patrons of a particular district. Number 2, we would probably start with the influential patron in order to make our logistical activities more efficient in that area, because if we get that penalty, then that means any action that we take in that district is going to cost more logistical points, and we don't want that. So the first person who gets the gift from my book would be the influential patron. After that, the influential patron. After that, it's the popular patron that we will be working on and giving gifts to the popular patron. The reason being, we want our activities, our campaigns to increase reputation would have maximum impact if we have the support of the influential patron. And then once we do that, we can proceed with increasing the reputation, increasing our reputation by campaigning in that district, either using funds or by using logistical points because we have the activist. And once we have increased our reputation in the district, that gives us an avenue for raising more funds. But you'd also want to give gifts and build a good relationship with the wealthy patron. and after building their relationship with a wealthy patron, and all of them are above a certain rate, they're giving you bonuses. You can continue to increase your campaign in a particular area, in which case it will reach a sufficient amount of reputation that you would have captured that area. It becomes, practically your bailiwick, and everybody's there supporting you, and move on to the next district. Okay, so that's going to be our general pattern that we will be following. So you'll notice in the police station we're trying to increase our relationship with the influential patron, because there was a point in time a while ago where he lost face and he took it against us. And let's see if we can fast forward and fast track and see how far that kind of strategy will go. Now, before continuing, here's an interesting event. We have here our volunteers who have been destroying campaign posters in different areas, and they are our volunteers. So if we scold them, we lose 20,000 votes. We lose reputation. On the other hand, if we leave them alone, there's going to be a scandal, and we gain 15,000 votes. So that's an interesting question. In this particular instance, I decided to avoid a scandal. I don't know how badly the scandal will go, so we move forward with that. Meanwhile, here we see a very interesting ability being used by the activist. It's not going to cost money, it's going to cost logistical points. But what does it do? We will start to change people who are undecided and into our camp. So in a way, this is a very powerful ability, because he can, at no cost, all you need to do is grant logistics. At no cost, you'll be able to gain votes. I think this is especially effective if you have a district with a lot of undecided votes. And you can notice here that we already have 3 districts where we are leading. We have strong leads already. We haven't captured them yet. As a matter of fact, at one point, because of the loss of reputation that we had in the banking district, they're no longer a captured district. So that's an interesting question there, because since it's no longer a captured district, we are no longer getting the bonus from having the bank. And the impact here later on is that the salary of our staff will become normal, so that every day, instead of the normal 3,750 gold that we have to pay out, it becomes I don't know, about 7,500 or something like that, and it's going to cost a lot more. I failed to take this into account. I failed to calculate this earlier, and so the net effect is that I end up always being short on money and having to disable one of my staff members because I don't have enough to pay him. They just have to keep on raising money. Here it is. I only have 4,600. I thought that would be enough to pay for the 3,750, but no, that's not enough. So I have to disable the preacher, who costs the most, and then he will just have to keep on raising funds then. Okay, at this point we find that the funds in the power plant are exhausted. Even though we're popular there, any further activities to raise funds will not generate any more funds. So what that means is we've got to wait until the next week. Since this is 30 days, you realize that there are only 3-4 weeks in which we can raise funds from the different districts. So that's an interesting limitation that you have to keep in mind. Okay. Now here I am really tempted, because I have a video, scandalous video, based on that will hurt the campaign of the opponent. So what do? Do we blackmail him, or do we give it to our friends in the media? And it will give him more scandals. I don't think we can blackmail him. I don't see the value much of blackmailing him if he gets +5. If we get a +5 in our logistics points, let's just go ahead and give him that bombshell. Okay, so for all our efforts so far, we're still trying to climb out of this hole we've dug ourselves into, but Reindeer is leading with 200,000 votes as of midpoint of the campaign period. It's kind of scary, but let's continue and see what we can do. Let's see if we can build up our reputation. So still we haven't learned our lesson. We still short on funds because we haven't captured the bank yet. So I should work on capturing the bank. I think at this point I'm still wondering why does it cost so much? What happened? Before I realized that the bank was no longer had striped boundaries. Okay, so here we have the reindeer caught in a huge scandal. So this is what happens if you have enough scandals or scandalous material in a particular area, then it's entirely possible that the scandal will break out, and the party affected will lose reputation in that area. So I think it paid off what we did earlier in giving to our friends in the media the scandals that we passed on to them because of that videotape in that earlier event. Now here we have another event, and we're going to have to take a look at this is going on. Somebody's trying to give us 30,000 gold. So that probably happens in actual media. We only have 6,000, and I'm very tempted to take it. But again, I'm trying to steer clear of scandals. I don't really know how strongly scandals will impact you, but we'll see if we'll see what we can do by avoiding these scandals. No, don't take it. There you go. You'll need my help sooner or later. Everyone does. Okay, not today, not today. Okay, meanwhile, it's now day 13 and we got another event going on here. This time, one of our staff members is sick and is asking for a day off. That means that the person will be disabled. However, since I've already moved all of my staff members, nobody can be disabled, then the only choice I had was to ride him to get that consequence of a scandal where I am riding that person home. One good consequence, however, of this is that we have finally captured the bank, and so hopefully by the next turn, by the next day, we also fully captured a police station, because now we've also increased, finally, with all our hard work building relationships, we have now captured 2 areas. Now the reindeers also captured 2 areas. So right now, without thinking about the populations first, we're both neck and neck in the race. We've both captured 2 districts, and 1 district is heavily in our favor. We will see if later on we can capture the other districts and pull them in our favor as well. Okay. Oh, see, so now we have a lower cost again because we have the bank, but also because I'll have to check what kind of bonus do we get for capturing the police district. Okay, so here we're focusing our attention now on the power plant district, and we still have some undecided voters here. That's why we're bringing in our activist for some people power. We're going to use all of our logistics points available, or that can be used, in order to increase it. So you notice now there are very few undecided voters, and a majority of these have already decided over to us. Okay, so with that kind of majority in our reputation, I think what remains for us is to build our relationship with the wealthy patrons so that we can complete the trifecta and complete the requirements for capturing a district. So I think we could be more efficient here. I think there's the bare minimum relationship that would be required in order to qualify for this to be a captured district. I'm not too familiar with it yet, but instead of going all the way for getting, say, 30 points, maybe 16 points will be sufficient. And you notice how the borders now of the power plant district have changed into striped boundaries. This means that the majority in the power plant support Mousey, and then if they can get the support of power patrons, we can capture it. But look at that, we have finally captured the power plant district. So now we have 3 districts captured, as opposed to only the 2 that Reindeer has captured, and it's now day 19. Okay, so it's day 19, And this time we're going to work on our next district, the TV station district. We'll find out how we can enter that area, but we'll see if our methodology will still work. Look at that, we are going to give gifts to the patron, and the first patron that we will get the gift will be the influential patron. Right now, actually our relationship is not so bad. With the relationship of 61, we get a -1 bonus. So we just want the bare minimum. We don't want to spend all of our money, just try to be efficient. If we can increase our relationship by 12 points from 61, that brings it up to 73. That might be a good place, and then we can focus our work on the wealthy patron. But even as we have now, oh, okay, 73 doesn't really change the bonuses much. We only get a -1, maybe at least a -2 logistical points cost would be actually be very good. Now let's start to work on the TV station district. Okay, so as I said before, let's continue to give gifts to the patrons here of this fine TV station district. I will use the preacher. He's not so bad at giving gifts. At least he doesn't have a penalty. And let's also, now that we are getting in the good graces of the patrons, we're trying to get reputation now within the television station district. So we don't have as much logistical points because we still need to increase our capabilities by giving more gifts to the influential patron, and that will lower the cost of influence of our activities, including that of the activist. Meanwhile, we have another event here where during the campaign or during the debate, we are told by our opponent, we're given some names. Well, we're gonna go right back at him and get the battle words going. I would not have wanted to do that, but right now at this late stage with 11 days to go, I guess I need the votes. We'll go ahead and take those votes. In real life, I don't know if I would have had the presence of mind to actually do that. But notice this, we are now ahead by 200,000 votes by day 20. So let's hope we can keep this up. So following our strategy, we're going to raise more funds, and we will use these funds to give gifts to the influential patron of Television City. Okay, so here we go. Let's give a gift. Mousey will give a gift and give it to the influential patron. Influential patron is the one in the middle. The wealthy patron is the one on the left. Now click on the influential patron. Okay, now here you see my mistake. I thought I had clicked on the influential patron, and I'm not really looking at the who's selected. I'm focused on the figures and the relationship at the bottom, and then I click, and then before I realize that, oh no, it's the wealthy patron. It's not so bad in the sense that we'll be able to get more money out of this district, but still, what we wanted, now it's going to cost us more. We only have 4 logistical points left, and we will not be able to exert as much effort in using the people power ability. So here we have another dilemma of an event. Do we get a +50 in a religious concern or a +50 in a health concern because of the question from a journalist regarding our opinion on a new bill which makes it harder for storks to get a license for delivering babies to the island? I like the way that this game somehow brings some important political issues without spelling it out. You know, it puts it in a safe cartoon environment that's, I think, safe enough to play in for purpose of enjoying. It doesn't get too political, but you get the idea. On what it should be, and in a way, I think the distance or the playful rendition of these issues gives you an opportunity to enjoy the game rather than being too invested in the issues themselves. In a way, that's one way of sacrificing or sacrificing realism for playability. But I think playability here makes it enjoyable to play it. On the other hand, deep down you know that there's an issue there, and if it really affects you, you can really make it affect your decision on that issue. Now, in that issue, I would have wanted, for instance, to emphasize the health of the citizenry, but I also know that my opponent has 6 points of knowledge on health, and if I were to increase that, then that means he would also have that advantage. So why would I give him that advantage? So again, because I don't have much of an advantage on the health issues, I just try to level the playing field by emphasizing the religious issues. It's or maybe I just lack integrity. Gee, I hope not. Okay, let's continue playing the game. Okay, so it's day 22, 8 days left. I think I finally realized that I've been giving gifts to the wrong patron. So we're going to select the patron, the influential patron. Why is it so important for me to get him? He's already 73. Well, if I can get -2 for him, that -2 bonus on the logistical cost of operating within that district, that would help our activists to use their people power ability, because you pay with logistical points when you campaign. So we're going to go ahead and try to increase the reputation, getting from the undecided voters. Look at that, that's 73,000 undecided voters. We're going to use the people power ability and use all of it so that we can increase our reputation in that area. Let's continue doing that. Meanwhile, we can continue trying to rally and hold our campaign so that we can emphasize the concern. Now notice again, I'm trying to avoid the health issues because Reindeer is so knowledgeable about it. I'm going to emphasize the employment issues. Hopefully by increasing that, people will be more focused on the employment issues. It'll be a bigger concern for them. Meanwhile, okay, so we're trying to get a wealthy patron is trying to give us money, but it comes at a cost with a scandal. So, but we want more votes. The patron is not going to like us very much. Oh dear. Okay, so normally we'd like the patrons as ourselves, but for some reason I'm leery. I'm kind of being careful of avoiding that scandal. So let's avoid a scandal and maybe not accept that money, get more votes, and then we'll just give more gifts to that patron later on. Okay, did we lose a particular area? Not yet. We'll find out next turn. Okay, so we didn't lose that area. We didn't lose any area or any district, but now we can use the people power to gain more votes from the undecided. So we're going to rinse and repeat this. We're going to keep using our activists to drum up more and more of these supporters from the TV station area using the people power ability. It's not going to cost us much money, but it will cost us logistics points. That's fine. Maybe what we can do is work on inspiring to gain more logistics points. So that's an interesting ability that we will try to work on later on. See if they can help feed each other. Okay. So, but in the meantime, let's give a gift to this patron and hopefully increase the ability that we have to gain more reputation in this area. Okay, so we're getting reports that Reindeer is leading in some of the other districts, so we're going to have to work harder and campaign in the TV station here. So Reindeer near Lao leads in train, and he's made a deal in the fishing village. So he's coming out ahead in these other areas. But the patrons and TV station now support us. If we can get the support of the voters, we can capture it. So let's start working on the voters here in TV station. Okay, slowly but surely we are using the activist because we don't have as much money. We're going to use the logistics points in order to use his people power ability so that we can get more larger reputation here in the TV station area. So we've continued our strategy of raising funds and raising reputation, giving gifts to our patron. We will continue to do that so that we can get more reputation from the undecided voters of the TV station. However, we do have a scandal coming up here. It's a disaster. Someone's come out spreading rumors that they're the Mousey's child out of wedlock. Unfortunately, we don't have enough gold. We don't have enough logistics. We are forced to ignore him, and we have 3 scandals. It's a level 3 scandal, I guess you could call it that. Okay. In the TV station. Now, what's the immediate impact in the short term? I don't know. Maybe if it is discovered and if it is maximized. Woohoo! Day 25. We're 263,000 votes ahead of Reindeer. So maybe we can keep this up. And hopefully day 26, 4 days to go. Maybe we could, if we could even capture TV station district, that might actually work to our advantage. The only problem is I haven't been able to attend to the other districts, and I know that the Reindeer faction or the Reindeer party has been very busy trying to drum up support in all the other districts in the southern part of this island. Let's see, what are we going to do next here? Okay, so we've been raising funds and giving gifts to the popular patron of TV station, and we've been using the people power ability to get the undecided voters. But now we have another issue here where an influential patron in the district is being criticized for employing the services of feline dancers. What's my opinion? Well, is it in poor taste? Or I don't see anything wrong. It's in poor taste. So this puts it at risk because we're going to lose the patronage and we might lose the ability to capture this district. But I think that we'll just continue to give gifts, notwithstanding our position on the matter. So we'll continue to give gifts to the patron and continue to use the people power ability to increase our reputation in the TV station area. Day 27. Let's go. 4 days left. So as we mentioned earlier, while we've been raising funds, we're trying to give gifts to this patron because our relationship started to break down after we criticized him publicly for hiring all those feline dancers. Now, what we can do is continue giving gifts, and it's an interesting strategy that I'm developing here. Primarily, instead of taking the expedient way of taking the side of the patron just to keep his loyalty, I have had to publicly criticize and then just give him gifts on the side to maintain within his good graces. I don't know if that will work in real life, but we hope that it works here in this game. Okay, so we continue with giving gifts. We won't be able to inspire this time because even if we gain logistics, our turn would end anyway. But we've been giving gifts and we've been campaigning or using the people power ability. But now we have another event here. We found evidence of mental illness in Reindeer's family, in our opponent's family. What should we do with it? Let's leave them alone. I mean, the person has nothing to do with the campaign. let's leave him alone. And the campaign manager agrees it's bad form to ruin an innocent life over this. Okay, I feel better with that selection. Has no impact on us. Let's continue. Maybe we can continue to rally on the employment issues, and hopefully we get more voters on our side. Okay. Oh, this is a rally, so we're going to emphasize and highlight the employment issues more, bringing me up to 46 points. So if you see from that graph, we are starting to get more supporters in the TV station district. Okay, the patrons now support us. If we can get the support of the voters, we can capture it. 3 days left in the campaign, as we say, day 28. Okay, day 29, 2 days left. What are we doing this time? We're giving a gift to the influential patron. He's already got a relationship with us at 74, and that's enough to actually help capture the district, but we want to increase it some more so that we get a -2 bonus on logistics. What will that do? That will help Tortinia use again her activist people power ability, so that we can try to get more voters, increase our reputation among the undecided voters. So let's do that and make it grow. Although, sorry, this time we've had the that was wrong to have Ricardo raise the funds. At that point, we should have done is have Tortinia increase reputation first before having Ricardo raise funds. The idea behind it is that raising funds is dependent on your reputation, so why not increase it first before trying to get those funds? Okay, so we're here at day 30 and the last day, so we're gonna pull out all the stops and do everything we can to win this. So we've already captured the districts, the power plant district, the bank district, and the police station district. We're going to go for gold, trying to get the TV station district. Let's see what we can do. Okay, we've given a gift to the popularity patron. Okay, I think we have him at 100%. He's giving us 50% for our rally, and then we have used our activist to maximize, get as many of the undecided voters to side with us. Okay, and before anything else, we have one more issue regarding a patron who has a son, a child who's about to enter university but was not able to enter university. Is asking for our help. What are we going to do? I don't know at this point what a scandal would do, so maybe we'll say I'm sorry. I'm sure there are other schools out there, and hopefully we will have enough time within the day to give gifts to bring the relationship back up. Okay, so here we are. We're going to give a gift to the patron so that we can bring it back up again. So let's just find out how much we need, give the minimum amount, and there we go, 75. Hopefully this will retain the status of the TV station being captured district. Okay, it confirms it. We fully captured the TV station through voter and patron support. Okay, it's election day. We're very excited. Let's find out who's going to win. So we start off with the bank district that's giving us 86,100 votes. That's 11%. And Reindeer, let me see, more undecided voters in the Temple district voted for Reindeer. That's going to give him 91,000 votes, also 11%. And for the TV station, which we've captured, more undecided voters voted for Mousey, giving us 21% with 169,526 votes. And there are more undecided voters in airport voting for Reindeer, bringing him up to 19% only with 149,547 votes. But what about the other districts? There are no undecided voters in power plant. All of them voted for us. That's why we got 29% of the votes. And for the train, undecided voters voted for Reindeer, bringing him up to 23% with 187,000 votes. And let's see, for the undecided voters in police station, we've got that covered too. We got 36%, 286,000 votes. And there are no undecided voters in fishing village, bringing Reindeer up to 29%. The ski resort voted for Mousey. Thanks guys. They were undecided, but they voted for us. We're ahead at 39%. More undecided voters in the port voted for Reindeer. This looks like a north versus south thing. And there are more undecided voters in the farm who voted for Reindeer. So we've got 42%. He's got 41%. So that tells us, let me see, undecided voters in the factory are split. We got 44%, Reindeer got 42% of the votes. I guess that's it. Let's continue, and we defeat Reindeer. It's a close shave. If you win by less than within 5 percentage points, it will be considered a close shave, which is one of the achievements that we get. Look at this, campaign expenditure. Reindeer spent more than we did. I think it's because we were using the people power ability a lot. Most scandalous election strategies, most scandalous, Reindeer had more scandals. And then for election strategies, we did a lot of fundraising, and there you go. That's how we won. Let's see. Okay, for the moral compass, our moral compass is utopian. Our campaign style has been utopian. We didn't resort to any corrupt practices or anything like that. So, we hope you enjoyed this game. I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and if you'd like to see this game played here. We'll see. There might be some additional strategies we'd like to try. In addition to that, we're thinking maybe we can get some of the more games from Squeaky Wheel and from Positech games. And if you'd like that, let us know. Keep us posted. And once more, if you like this video and you want more videos like this, please like and subscribe. Please leave your comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Like and subscribe. Tap on the bell icon to be updated on new videos. Thank you very much for watching.